Welcome back to this video where we will help you to unlock your inner medium within 7 short steps. However, these steps, whilst they are short, they are very significant. If you are wanting to become a medium, then I would advise you to watch the full How to Become a Psychic Medium series. But I know we are living in a day and age where some of you don't have time. Therefore, I've condensed it into 7 key topics that I think each and every one of you should be doing at the beginning of your mediumship journey to be able to help propel you throughout the troubling times that you are no doubt going to face as you embark on your voyage of self-discovery and mediumship skills. If you're new to the channel, my name is Psychic Medium Jordan Coburn, and I can prove with evidence of the afterlife. I've helped thousands of people already on this earth plane to once again be able to reach out and contact their loved ones in spirit from the understandings and the teachings, and now it's your turn. Each and every one of you, my friends, can become great mediums, and here at Help Heal Serve, we can give you the very foundations to forge your own unique understanding, not to mention we have the loving and supporting Help Heal Serve family. Also, I would like to say a big massive thank you to every one of the channel members. Honestly, absolutely, it's amazing to see how many of you have become channel members. We've got loads of things in the pipeline, and if you want to become a channel member, then the comment section below will help you. Thank you to every one of the channel subscribers. It means a lot to us to see that the message of Help Heal Serve is being taken seriously. We are helping to heal individuals who are suffering from pain and grief. And each and every one of you are coming along on that journey. Thank you to each and every one of you who smash that like button, who also share the content. And every one of you who leave comments in the videos, we notice it. And last but not least, let's not forget the haters out there, because we have a lot of them. On a serious note, thank you to every one of you who hate me for the person I am, for the work that I do, for the message that I'm bringing to planet Earth, because without you, there would be no propelling of the message. We see you. We see that people watch the content and you hate who we are. So kudos to you. It is, hopefully you'll learn something from it. And it's probably where you found the channel. I think what I don't want to do is what most people out there on the internet do. They'll lower you into a false sense of security. Every one of you have the abilities and capabilities with skill sets to become great mediums. We all know that. And if you don't know that, we've got many videos covering that. Each and every one of you are unique, and I've got to treat each and every one of you in the unique, raw, organic way that you are to be able to help you. But by this video, what I suspect for a lot of you, if you start doing these routines and you start to program yourself to adopt this way of thinking and this ethos, it's going to not just propel you in your mediumship, it's going to help you when you get stuck. It's going to give you a pivotal point to turn. It's no longer are you going to walk this walk alone. You are going to have these practices by your side along with the Help Heal Serve family to be able to navigate the troublesome times of mediumship. Because before any of you think that mediumship's a walk in the park, ha, ha, ha. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard, because it's not. It really isn't. Mediumship isn't meant to be funny. Before you become a medium, you have to understand the person that you are. And I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, did they just say that? What a douchebag thing. Listen, you as a person have traversed your journey of life, going through the ups and downs, the hurdles, which has defined you as the person that you are now. Some of the awareness that you have, some of the ways that you will react to a situation has all been constructed from within the sensory existence that you've lived. When we break you down as a person and you realize that to become a medium, you have to be selfless. You have to be squeaky clean in some respects. A lot of the time you will see mediums who aren't squeaky clean, and their work stinks, reeks of it. And I don't mean in the materialistic sense, it physically smells. What I mean is you can see that they haven't addressed some of the traits that they have as an individual before coming into mediumship. That's why each and every one of you should take it very seriously at the beginning to ensure that you as a person are ready for this journey, because it's going to be an uphill battle. It really is. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be mental anguish. It's going to be suffering. But on the flip side of that, if I haven't put you off, it's also going to be amazing. It's going to be life-changing. Let me know down in the comment section how many of you want to become a medium. Before we come into this video, it's worth knowing, don't skip any of these steps. Please know that we don't have shortcuts in life. I've meticulously crafted and put together this plan to help you. If you don't want to help yourself, then unfortunately I can't help you as a person. I've made this video as short as I practically possibly can. I know I talk a bit, but don't skip parts. If you skip parts, then you're going to miss vital information that I need to be able to give you so you can help yourself. The very first step is going to be spending time in your own company. Remember what was said at the beginning of this video, where I have to help you to understand the person that you are. Yes, a lot of you probably laughed, a lot of you probably thought it was spiritual. But I need you to see who you are at a soul level. Not the facade, not the walls that we've put up through the emotional torture and the suffering, the pain, the resentment that we have, some traits that we have that we don't really like, egotistical traits, narcissistical traits in some people. And to any one of you, I'm not saying you have these traits, but these are a lot of the different traits that individuals will have coming into mediumship. And it is only by sitting in your own company for 10 minutes a day, I believe personally, we can start to iron out some of the kinks. We can sit in because how many of you, right, watching this video now have actually sat in silence with yourself? And I don't mean in a workplace, on your dinner time. I don't mean I mean you've specifically placed your intent is key, and you've went into, say, your bedroom, and all you've wanted to do in that time is to be aware. To be conscious of who you are as a person. Not watching Netflix, the Prime, and watching all of your latest box sets. Then no, I mean going in there, no audio, no noise, just sitting with your own thoughts. It's scary. When you first start doing it, it's pretty scary. I'm not going to lie. I hate being alone with my own thoughts. It's one of those things where it's like, oh my God, what am I going to... Because you're often, at the very beginning stages of this, and a lot of you don't realize this, becoming a medium, we have to control that. And this is the very first way I would introduce you nice and slowly in to controlling what's going on up there. Because it's all right, all of these gurus and all of these different practitioners saying, oh, go and do a 30-minute meditation every day. Don't do that. That's just stupid. But by doing it in being reasonable with our expectations, in outlining at the very beginning, it's going to be more prevalent that we are going to fulfill our goal than being unreasonable in our expectations and failing at the first hurdle. We don't want that. We don't want that. I would recommend each and every one of you, you are serious about becoming a medium. You're watching this channel at this point, smash that like button. But if you are wanting to become a medium, you need to be putting 10 minutes a day aside. When I say 10 minutes, right, I don't want you to go into a meditation. Don't be sitting in the meditation. Listen, in meditation, you say it all at the time on this channel, especially when you're new coming into meditations. It takes about 15 minutes just to get into a lower theta, just so you can actually start enjoying the meditation. When you get more developed, it's a lot quicker. But I don't want this to be meditation. I want this to be a time for you to take that high octane racing mind of yours that you have conditioned for the entirety of your life, where when you start to kind of detach from a situation, you start to think, what we're going to do for the kids' food, what we're going to do tomorrow, where we're taking the dogs, what we're going to do on the weekend. Is the shopping needing done? Do we need to go to the bank? What time do we go to work? All of these things within the materialistic plane, I need you to start distancing from them. It's only by having a blank playing card that the spirit world can then come into your world. We need you to spend 10 minutes of your time, 3 times a week. I said every day, right? But the spirit world are being more reasonable. They're giving you 3 times a week. You pick the times. You pick the days. And all you have to do is set and allot that time. And a lot of you now are panicking. Like, oh, I can't do that. I've got such a busy world. I am sorry. I don't accept that one bit. Listen, this isn't a channel for messing around. If you want to be able to help yourself, you will make that time. We don't want excuses. We don't need excuses. That's the reason why you're watching this channel. You want to become a medium. Therefore, we need to start looking at it like a job, because it is a job. It's a selfless job, but it is something that you should take pride in. It's a profession, something that you should take very serious. Therefore, I want each and every one of you, this is your homework, every one of you who are watching this video, make so you have 30 minutes a week time with yourself. In this time, I want you to simply, because a lot of you might not know how to do this, so I'm going to explain it now. All you're going to do is you're going to go into your room, a house, wherever it might be. You're going to switch off. You're just going to welcome any thought that comes into your mind. You're going to acknowledge the thought, accept it, and let it move on. Because what a lot of you will be doing is a lot of you, you'll go into a quiet room, right? And I've done this myself. And when it starts going quieter, that's when the voices start. Not the spirit world, not the realms, but your own internal thoughts, your own internal dialogue. And you'll start hearing things. And what you'll try to do is you'll try to block them out. You'll be like, oh, I don't want to listen, I don't want to listen, don't want to listen. But what you should be doing is you should be accepting it. In this moment, I am now spending quality time with myself. What am I doing for tea tomorrow? I'm going to accept it, but I'm going to dismiss it. This is you taking control. This is you then starting to think of the spirit will tell us like this. If you think of like a file of facts, that's a canny old thing. If we say cupboards. And if you think within those cupboards, you've got loads of different items. But in your mind, we have these cupboards and we have the items and it's all flung around. It's literally, right? Think of your worst case scenario if you went into your bedroom now, right? You'd have everything thrown around. Somebody's just went in with dirty hands and have picked up all of your clothes, flung it around the bedroom. That there is how your mind looks in your everyday existence. That's how it's been conditioned. It's how it keeps you alive, fight or flight. It's going through the motions. It doesn't have time to sit back. It doesn't have time to think. Then what we need to do is we need to hire a cleaner for that bedroom. That cleaner is coming in the form of your intent. Your intent when you have accepted that you need to spend quality time with yourself to understand the person that you are. It's going to be hard, you know. I don't really think a lot of you understand how complex this is going to be. In the first instance, there is a lot of you who are going to cry. There is a lot of you who are going to break down emotionally because you've never had to spend time with yourself. You've never been able to be proud of the person that you are, to accept some of the hurdles that you've overcome, to once again be able to be faced with some of the challenges that you've had to make. This, for a lot of you, is not going to be a game, and I fully get that. But you will be rewarded for your hard work. And how are you going to be rewarded? Are you going to win the lottery? Are you going to... No. You are going to become an authentic medium. You are going to start to see the person that you are. We are going to start sculpting you and molding you. When you have seen the true representation of who you really are, that's when I can get to work. I can help you to become whatever you want to be. But I need you in the first instance to put time aside. When you're putting the time aside, I don't want music, I don't want any of it. I just want you to be alone in your own thoughts. That scary place, alone in your own thoughts. And all we're going to do is we are going to take a deep inhale through our nose. We are going to do that for 7 seconds. We are going to hold it for 8 seconds. Then we are going to exhale for 8 seconds. Repeat, rinse and repeat until you start to feel that your world is slowing down. A lot of you will do that twice, 3 times at the most, and then you'll be like, whoa, everything's going. What I would recommend you to do when it starts slowing down and things start to feel a little bit odd, a little bit different, don't worry about it. Know that you are in good hands. Know that the spirit world are with you in those moments and they are assisting you from behind the scenes. You might not believe it, but believe me, they are there with you in those moments. This is your quality time, and they will be there to ensure that you enjoy, my friend. Let's come over to number 2 that I think each and every one of you should be very, very aware of. Without a say, micro-journaling is going to be... I've got to be honest with you, right? I'm a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to micro-journaling because I hate writing. Listen, if I wrote, it would look like hieroglyphics. Not because I'm talented and not because I've got skills, because I write like a child. Honestly, I'm scribbles. I'm like a kid with a big pen, and I'm just like that. Honestly, none of you could read my writing. Therefore, for me, micro-journaling, I can't do it on paper. However, I've realised that I can actually micro-journal using my phone. A lot of you are going to be very familiar with mobile devices. They have a note section. A lot of you might be very familiar with voice notes on a phone, where you can actually record the audio. There's nothing wrong with you recording the voice notes in. Today, this is what I've achieved. This is what I would like to do. You can document your journey in voice notes. There's no excuse. You could, sorry, the energy got really intense there. You could literally pick up a phone, record yourself talking into, this is day 5. This is what, there is not one excuse that your little mind can pick up. I hate micro-journaling. I hate writing. But that doesn't mean to say I don't do it. I've found ways that work for me, and that's what you need to do for you. We need to find what it is and how it is that you are going to be able to document your journey, because that's what it is. It's a journey. And I've got to be completely frank and blunt with you. From the start of my journey to where I am now, it's been in the blink of an eye. You know, when you're a kid, the only way I can liken it to is, you know, when you're a kid, and you see all of the adults coming around and they're like, oh, you're all grown up so quick. And in the blink of an eye, like, I'm at the age I'm at now, and I'm saying that to my son, and he's probably looking at me laughing, going, oh, yeah. But in the blink of an eye, I'm at this age. That's how quick it is in mediumship. Fun fact as well, teaching every one of you, and this is how serious I take it. Every one of you should not just be proud of the journeys that you've walked. Yes, there's going to be situations that you're not happy with. I'm not saying that that's what you have to be happy with. You have to learn from that. But you as a person have managed to achieve, in most cases, what you thought was impossible. There's going to be lots of scenarios that you've encountered. There's going to be lots of times in your darkest and abyss of despair where you thought you couldn't get out of that hole. Look where you are now, my friend. And looking back, at the time, you thought you would never get here. You thought you would never be able to persevere to make it to where you are now. And look where you are now. And in the blink of an eye, we've forgotten most of it, haven't we? There's going to be some of you who might remember certain parts of it, but you can't reaccount all of it, especially if it's something like a trauma, because your brain does a very good job of keeping that out. You don't want to reimagine it every day. However, that being said, on my YouTube platform, to prove how much I fully believe in this, I've left on the very first video I ever done on this channel. And it is hilarious. It's diabolical. I mean, I still have the understandings the same. I still have all of the same ethoses. There's nothing in that respect. But the camera quality, the audio quality, the way I am on camera, I was completely new. I wasn't relaxed. I didn't understand. I was more just me shouting in the camera, to be honest with you. There was nothing really kind of warm-hearted to it. It was me working my spirit. And the reason why I think it's prevalent to know is that's a way of me micro-journaling also. Every video I have on this channel is a form of my micro-journaling, because I can look back and see my progression. I can see from where I started to where I am now. Because as a person, I see no difference in myself. Like, a lot of you won't see any differences in yourself. A lot of you might look in the mirror and not see any different. There's different body dysmorphias. There's many different things that go on within a human form where you don't see yourself as being any different. You can't accept it. But by micro-journaling and by me looking back through my videos, I can see how I started, how the qualities got better, how I learned how to use microphones, and how I learned how to get good lighting in my room in studio. And again, I know it's a bit of a crazy thing to say, but that's my form of microjournaling. Every video that I make, every time I'm in front of a camera, building up, kind of ensuring that the delivery's on point, ensuring that instead of shouting at people, I'm talking to people. And I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, well, why were you shouting at people? Are you a nasty person? No, it's not. It's because what you've got to understand is I was never in front of cameras. I never had any coaching. I was never taught how to be in front of a camera. And there's nothing more daunting to any of you who don't know this. There's nothing more daunting than sitting in front of a camera and talking. And a lot of you will be like, well, actually, yeah, I do get the point there. So to me, I didn't know how to interact with the camera. It's just strange. I do now, but at the first, when I look back at the videos, it's like, oh my God. But even though I don't like the video, even though really what I should do is delete the old content and just keep the new, we won't, because we are proud of the person that we are. We learn from the situations that we've gone through. We learn from those. And that's why I would recommend each and every one of you to find your own form of microjournaling. It doesn't have to just be like the old-fashioned styles, a journal next to your bed, or like what you've seen in a movie where they've got this big feather and quill and they're writing into the dream journal. Listen, that's not practical, is it? You're dipping that quill into the ink and then you're getting smudged all over the paper. And if you're somebody that writes like me, it's going to look horrible. Do what works for you is the best advice I would give each and every one of you for this point. Let's come over to point number 3. One of the greatest ways of you not just accepting that you have the abilities to communicate with energy, it's by allowing energy into your world. It's that communication taking place, that inner dialogue of allowing energy to be part of your world. Every one of you have been conditioned to believe that there is no such thing as a spirit world. People like me can prove with evidence that there is a spirit world. Believe me, my friends, I've not only had people pulled by the feet on command off chairs for me, I've had coins given to me on camera. I've had items thrown across rooms. Believe me, and a lot of you might think that's scary. I love it. Like, seriously, the realms of my family, the spirit world of my family, I love working with both of them. They're like the cool little invisible friends I've got. To me, it's not scary. I have a good understanding. But with all of that being said, it's all right having a good understanding. But there's something that we need to do in the acceptance phase of there being a spirit world. If you don't accept that there is a spirit world, it's going to become very difficult for you to be able to communicate effectively and intelligently alongside of energy. The next stage that I think each and every one of you should pay close attention to is going to be the awareness. I know it's difficult when we're talking about awareness because there's a lot of you who found this video who might not have any awareness. You might have been taught from a young age that there's no such thing as the spirit world. Well, a lot of people are taught that, to be fair. I was one of them. And what I would recommend for you is to imagine white light all around you. And believe me when I say this, I don't want to make it seem more than what it actually is. The white light around you isn't what is going to cause the connection to take place, but it's more affirming in your own mind that we have intelligent energies around us, that we are ready and open to work with in the moment. It's a mind shift. The second you think that you are working with spirit, you're going to be working with spirit anyway. But by thinking that you have a white light around you, it's effectively like you pressing the light switch in your bedroom for the light to come on. In this scenario, the light coming on would be you ready to communicate with the spirit world. So I want you to practice the bubble technique. I want you to, when you are wanting to communicate with the spirit world, is and visualize a white bubble all around you. Think of it like a lighthouse. A lighthouse, how it will guide ships in the formidable seas where there is so much fog that they can't see and they need a guiding beacon, something that is going to drain them in and help them to reach the sanctuary of land, the safety of land. This is what I want you to do. I want your light to be so bright that the spirit world are summoned and beaconed to your call. Again, that's not naturally how it's going to work, but that's how I want you to start thinking of it. When you put that white light around you, you are now working with spirit. Again, please don't think you are actually putting white lights on. That's not what I'm trying to do here, but it's a way of kind of showing you and to help you to visualize that you are in control in these moments. So yes, remember the bubble technique. The next thing I think is going to be very good for you to start practicing to use your clairvoyant abilities. Yes, your clairvoyant abilities, because you all have them. It's about refining them. Is to mirror gaze. A lot of you are going to be terrified by this, especially if you've seen some of the videos that I do in mirrors. Try not to think about what I do in mirrors, because I just work with all sorts of energy. Try and just work with your own intuition. All I want you to do is to set your intent. I want you to set time. Remember how we said at the beginning that you need to work on yourself? Well, what I would also recommend you to do, very much like the consistency and the structure that we had around that, where we were going to do 3 days a week. The other 2 days a week, what would be really, really productive for you to learn clairvoyance is to stare into a mirror. Not just appreciate the person that's staring back, but what I need you to do is when you are looking into that mirror, is imagine that white light around you. Remember how we said we are going to summon, we are going to welcome the spirit world to work with us. And what you are going to do is you want to look into the reflective surface of a mirror, and you are going to be ready to receive. You are going to be ready to see. The spirit world, yes, they will come through and they will show you things. You may see, using clairvoyance, you may see somebody standing behind you. Please don't be scared, because the spirit world wouldn't do that if you were going to be scared. I don't want any of you to be scared. Or they may show you flash imagery. You may see a loved one. And when you see this, remember, document it. Put it in your journal. This is something that you should enjoy. When it happens to you, if you get scared, then you just ask spirit. Remember this, to every one of you who, the reason why I put these disclaimers in, it's I don't want, when I do things, it's serious. And a lot of you, right, you'll watch people on telly and you'll be like, oh, I'll just do this mirror gazing thing. And because you are working with the energy and you are placing your intent with me to work with my teams, to work with energy, and you are placing your intent and you are doing everything that I've told you to do, believe me when I say this, my friend, this is going to work. This isn't a game. That's why I tell you. And I'm as fair as I can be. For some people, it's going to be terrifying. Not because the spirit world are going to be chasing you around every time you look in the mirror, and your face morphing and changing colour and seeing big black eyes, and that sounds cool, doesn't it? But none of that. It's just literally because your imagination at this part of your life is going to start to play tricks on you. That's why, remember, you should never protect from the spirit world. Not one of you should do anything in this video by protecting. You have to protect from poor understandings and bad teachings, and unfortunately, this earth plane is saturated in an abundance of poor understandings and bad teachings, and egotistical practitioners, unfortunately. Yes, make sure that you spend the allotted time gazing at the mirror. I would recommend looking into the mirror 5-minute sessions. Don't do any more than that. It's actually really intensive. It's a lot of you might not realize it. But when you're staring at yourself in the mirror, what you want to be doing is looking at the crown or the bridge of your nose. Spirit have just shouted. The bridge of your nose here, and all you're going to do is just relax your gaze. You're not going to do anything out of the ordinary. Just relax your gaze, just like I'm doing. And you're just going to focus on the bridge of your nose. And you're just going to be welcoming anything that comes through in those moments. Start to feel the energy. Start to feel whatever it is. And you'll be amazed. You'll really be amazed. Let's come over to the next thing that I also think is going to be crucial to help you along your mediumship journey. This practice is going to be one of telepathy. Each and every one of you, what I would like you to do, you've all got friends, you've all got people that you will know that you text. What I would like you to do is somebody who you trust, I want you to build up your inner confidence. I need you to build up the person that you are. And one of the ways that we can do that is by using one of your ESP senses, extrasensory perceptions, of telepathy. A lot of you may think this is from a sci-fi movie. A lot of you may think that this is just crazy. But believe me, there are many of people who use this on a daily basis. A lot of you might have used it. How many of you have just knew something was going to happen? You haven't heard from a friend in such a long time. You thought about them and then you get the message from them. Yeah, it's happened to a lot of you, hasn't it? And you've probably put it down as being a weird coincidence. Coincidence, spirit like us to say. It's not. It's telepathy. It's really not as strange as and crazy as what TV makes it out to be. What I would like you to all do is a little bit of a hack. I want you to find somebody who you trust. And all I would like you to do is to tell them that at the same time every day, you are going to text each other. And what you need to do is text each other based on none other than your feeling in that moment. How do you think to feel? For example, if I was texting you now, 11 o'clock in the day, or pick a time that's going to suit both of you, I would text and say, hey Barbara, I think you're feeling in a good mood, or I think you're in a sad mood, and at the same time, you are going to receive a text. So you're both going to be reading each other's energy. You're going to be using telepathy to be able to communicate with one another. With time, this is going to refine. If you don't have any friends, there's going to be many different groups. There's going to be many different places where you can seek solace and you can practice this. What you don't want to do is to do this with somebody you don't trust. Because if they just want to lie to you and they don't want to tell the truth, it's going to destroy your confidence. What I would say is if your intuition's telling you not to do that process and that practice with someone, there's a reason your intuition's telling you not to go to them. And I would probably just try to seek someone else to be able to do it. Last but not least is going to be understanding what it is that you actually want. Out of this, each and every one of you are going to be able to gain very different results. Some of you, yes, are going to be able to communicate effectively and efficiently with the spirit world in any given moment. Some of you, this might not work first time. And you've got to be real with yourself. Why has it not worked? Is it because the spirit world don't favor you? Is it because the angels in the universe don't like you? Of course it's not. It's because something with you is wrong. And it's going to take time and effort and energy, determination, willpower to put it right. We shouldn't want it all like that on a plate. That's not how this world works. You don't get a dream job just because you want it. You don't get a car that you've always wanted because you want it. You've got to work hard for it. And that's the same with mediumship. Each and every one of you know that whilst you are going to have very different results, I would love to know down in the comment section some of your results. Whilst you are going to have very different results, you should not punish yourself for the results to which you seek and the answers and information that you gain during any of the exercises. The last one that I'm going to bring to each and every one of your attention for spirit communication is going to be understanding the premise of intent. Whenever you put that white light around you, that is effectively your beaconing light to the spirit world. That there, my friends, is intent. In those moments, you have actively wanted to communicate with the spirit world. You have actively asked for that communication to take place. Therefore, the spirit world will answer. Intent is very important when it comes into mediumship because it's by using and understanding intent to your greater good when you are going to know whether it is of spirit or whether it is your own mind. Because imagination a lot of the time does come into it. But it's when the imagination is working for us, not against us, that we need to know. I hope each and every one of you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video, why don't you consider smashing that like button, subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so, and checking out the videos pinned into top left and right, because we've got many different videos, and I'm sure you're going to love whatever else that we've got. Until the next time, bye-bye for now.